Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the longer term perspective and building a crypto portfolio which will be strong for the future, looking at some fundamentally strong assets. Mainly we'll be looking at the technical aspects of it today in terms of the price analysis, because a lot of charts are bottomed. Fundamentals, you'll have to do a little bit of research yourself, but I'm just going to take a look at 5 different assets that I think have got good fundamentals, but the price of them is on the floor, and I think there really is a good time to start buying and building that long-term portfolio for crypto. If you're looking across the charts now, especially in altcoins, they look absolutely horrific. Some are even 95-98% down from all-time highs, and people look at the charts and think, right, is this done? You get a lot of people over on crypto Twitter seem to think that, yeah, that's it, crypto is done. But that same feeling's gone across the bear markets, not just in crypto, but in stocks, shares, everything else. But yeah, if you go back to the 2015 bear market and look at that, you'd have thought, wow, this is done, it's not going to recover. Then if you look back to 2018, 2019, the same happened before that next major bull cycle, and things did look bad. But going against your emotions and buying the fear tends to be that best time to start to accumulate, even though it doesn't look like it. So let's have a look at the crypto markets here, and this is Bitcoin. Obviously we've actually had a good rise. I mean, from the lows there, if you look down to that 15k dump or up to the highs, we've done a 104% move. I just want to show you a quick chart before I do jump into some altcoins, and I want to go back to that bear market in 2015. We had a major cycle high up at $1,100, and then we dumped. It was a massive dump from the highs. If you just take a look at the high point there to the low point, we did an 86-87% drop. But in every bear market, you have bear market rallies, and we pumped 107%, followed by a 38% dump. If you go to the current times now, let's have a zoom right back out. I mean, we had that massive high up there in terms of a drop. I think it's been around 77%. Yeah, 77 on my nose there. And then we've had a 104% rally, which is very similar to that 2015 bear market. And what happened after that? We had a 38% drop. If we do get a 38% drop, you're going to see the price of Bitcoin jump down to around 19-20k, which would tie in nicely with, let me just find that pencil there. So if you look at that, it would be a retest of that major level there, and as you can see, we had loads of reaction around here. That could be a potential scenario that happens. Every cycle does not it does not have to follow what's happened in the past. I mean, if you look at the bear market in 2020, boom, we had a 71% drop. That was due mainly to the COVID crash. And that was a bit of a black swan event. I mean, something similar could still happen. We could have a rejection of all those Bitcoin ETFs from BlackRock, from Fidelity, everything. There could be still some major, there could be war. Something could happen in Russia where they drop nukes, and that could be bad for our markets. You just never know what's around the corner. But for me, I think that is a potential possibility, and there's a lot of people looking at a retest of 20k's for the next cycle low. But ultimately, the price is going to go up, although you do not believe it now looking at the charts. You think, ugh, what the hell's going on here? But with that, some altcoins could still get pulled back, even though we're at crazy lows. I mean, look at, let's start off with Metis, for example. This is an asset that I believe in the fundamentals could be really strong in the next market, in the next bull market. And look at this. This is a weekly time frame. We're now testing these lows that have been tested before in June 2022. That's at $14. That's the lowest price ever went. And if you're looking at this, we've all dropped all the way down to 14.62. So not quite the lowest, down to 14.14. But we are seeing a little bit of reaction in this area. For me, the fundamentals stack up as a solid layer 2 protocol built on Ethereum. And I think Ethereum, the layer 2s will be the main emphasis of driven price action, because we do know the fees on Ethereum are absolutely ridiculous, crazy. I mean, looking back to when Paulie was doing some of his altcoin, that Pondex or whatever it is, I didn't buy any, but yeah, the fees went crazy. You're talking around $40 to $60 just for an ERC20 transaction. The low Ethereum transactions, wallets are still low, but I mean, in terms of ERC20 token transfers, they were crazy. This has been up to around $177. I mean, if you're looking to buy now, and that just goes back to previous all-time highs, you're talking around a 10x on that. And I think that will definitely happen. I think this is a strong asset for the future. And now, personally, I think is a solid time to DCA. Looking at a price here, how much lower could it go? That is an unknown because it's never been below that price before. If it does go low and you start buying now and you're thinking, shit, what? I've bought at the lowest level it's ever been, it's still going lower. Don't go all in. Just start to methodically start to buy. If it goes down, then you'll get the opportunity to buy lower. But if it starts going up, you can still DCA bags on the dumps, because if the price action does start pushing up, just look at levels of resistance, because obviously it'll reject there, you could buy at 34. If it could reject here, you could buy at that level. Every time it gets to those major levels, it is going to reject at some point, and that will give you a DCA opportunity. So for me, looking at Metis, that's the first asset which I'm starting to accumulate now for the long-term perspective. I mean, say for example you want to start off low with a $1,000 portfolio. Let's break that down into 5 different assets. So you could put $200 in at this level here, and then we'll move on to a different asset. But yeah, Metis is that first asset, which I think is personally a solid asset for the future. Next one is Polkadot. This has been, I mean, where have we been down to around $4. And this has been all the way up to $55. In terms of where it could go, up to the all-time highs, you're talking another 1,000%, which is a 10x. I don't think that performed relatively well in the last bull market. We did see a major rise, yes, but at that period when this was going up, I don't think it got the coverage that it should have deserved. And the fact that parachains were working, which just came at the wrong time. I think those parachains just got absolutely destroyed because it was at the peak of the bull market. This is an asset which has got fundamental strong assets. It's a software more than a security or a standard token, so it is deemed as a software, and that's Polkadot. It is an asset there for people to build their products on. I don't think it did well last bull cycle, mainly just due to Solana and Avalanche, which had multi-billionaires backing it and pumping it. And those two assets did well, but those assets also pulled back insanely, especially with all what went on with Alameda and what also went on with FTX. They were heavy investors in Solana, and that's what pushed the price up. So for me, Polkadot is still yet to see a major rise. Yes, we did see a big push up, and a lot of money was to be made there. But I still think personally that we can push north of $100 in the future, and I think by now, I mean, look at this. This is what you would class as a solid accumulation phase. We are now dropped down to the lowest point it's been in a long time. Given we've been down here, but that was the launch. I mean, down $2-3. I think if you're looking at $2 to $3, I think that's personally being a little bit greedy. Looking at this level here in this box, it just shows for me clear accumulation in a bear market, and anything within this box, anything under $10 for me personally is a solid buy. I'm staking now, so I'm not actually buying anymore. I'm holding a big stack, which is getting daily rewards. Check out the Fearless wallet or Polkadot.js. Buy some now and start staking, because long term it will be a good asset. If you're looking to buy it and you want to try and buy the complete bottom where the price has been in the past, well, look down here, we've double bottomed there at $4.20, and you can see we've hit that area twice and pushed up. It was a major level here. You can see all those wicks. It was a big accumulation point before that major rise up. So for me, yes, I think this is a great buy now. If you want to wait to DCA, $4.20, but we're currently at $4.90, and it is what it is. I mean, look at that now. Look at that on a weekly time frame. You can't say that is not accumulation zone. Distribution zones happened up here that got distributed heavily. Yeah, for me that is a great long-term buy, and yeah, the fundamentals do stack up. So here we have caps on the weekly time frame. This is the gate.io chart. It's got predominantly more data. The all-time high was up there at 23 cents, and yeah, it's pulled back substantially. If you look at highs to the lows, which was all the way down there, 97% drop. Capsa is 2.0. You might not have heard of it. I don't think a lot many people have. It's quite a big asset in France. It's got a big French community. And yeah, it's got a marketplace. People are building on it. They're launching projects within their ecosystem. It's built on Substrate. There's a lot going for it. The technicals behind it are awesome. You can stake it. I'm also staking it now to, again, accumulate. Rather than buying I'm holding a big stack and accumulating assets via their staking program, which you can stake through a Fearless wallet. That's where I stake my Polkadot and also stake my Caps. But yeah, this is another asset which has got so much going for it. We had a nice rise back in February of this year, which obviously pulled back due to the entire market. But yeah, this again is back into a level where it is seeming to accumulate. If you look at this on the daily, 3-day time frame, you can see we're now into some accumulation down here, which has been another level back in here. If you drag it all the way across, there was a nice accumulation level there before it's dropped below and wound back up. I think if you're looking to buy Turnoa or load up on it, I mean, what's the chance of it coming back down to 0.005 cent? That's half of a cent. The opportunity could be there. I don't think it will, because I think we've seen all the pre-sale sellers will now be out. It's around 2.5-3 years ago since the pre-sale happened. All the unlocks are complete, and now it is just accumulation and getting that word out there for the team. So much going on. Like I say, the launching projects within their ecosystem. Some projects are building on top of Capsa's substrate framework, which is awesome to see. There's some really cool projects. Anything to do with Polkadot captures my eye, and this is one which I've been in since pre-sale. I sold some on my way up. Probably didn't sell enough, like most people, but now I'm accumulating this via staking rewards. And if I was you and you're looking for a low cap, it's around $20 million. A low cap for the future where you can see some massive gains. I mean, if this even goes back up to the all-time highs from current prices, if you look at this now, from here to the all-time highs, you're talking around a 14x, and I think that will absolutely be smashed out of the water in the future. There's some big time, some big money to be made over this over long term. So yeah, I mean, we're currently at 1.5 cent. If you're looking to start to DCA, then yes, start to look in this box here. That is a potential area you can accumulate. Anywhere from 1.5 down to 0.5 cent is a big level to accumulate. But I would be buying now. Don't just think, all right, I'm going to wait till it goes down there. It may not happen. It might just start pushing back up and accumulating sideways, and then you'll see some big wicks like this happen there. Look at that. That's all it takes, a bit of a bull market rally and some altcoins fly, and that did fly. So yeah, that's an asset which I also will be accumulating. So we've covered Bitcoin, Metis, Polkadot, Caps, and I'm just going to finish off with RSR, which is another asset which is mainly down. I mean, this has been sold off due to the mass pre-investors into this project. It's been in a massive accumulation zone. This is one that I would add to my long-term portfolio, so you could pick any of those assets. These assets that I'm going to do. What I might do is buy some separate bags of these and put them in a portfolio and pin it on my Twitter, and we'll see how they do. We'll put $200 just for fun in each of these assets, and we'll watch them over the long term, because you could, even off a $1,000 portfolio, you could do really well. I've got a lot more of them that stacked up in my other bags, but let's just do something for fun like that. If you want me to do that, drop it in the comments, and I'll definitely consider doing it. But yeah, we're having a massive accumulation zone. RSR, the fundamentals are crazy. It solves hyperinflation in some mass countries. We've got their app reserve, where you can actually stake. I'm staking my reserve right now. I'm going to do a video on how you actually stake it, because it's very simple. You just connect your MetaMask up and allow them to be sent into that staking pool. But yeah, look at that clear accumulation. Is it going to go lower? Possibly. I mean, if you look at the chart here where we've been in the beginning, that's an area where it could come down to, which is 0.00125, which is 0.1 of a cent. Is it going to come down there? I don't know, but for me, again, it's a massive DC opportunity, and there's a lot going on for a project. So some assets there are covered, which I think have got some really solid fundamentals for the future, and some assets which I really think have got great potential. So we're going to be doing more videos like this over the course of the next few months. You're going to have a look at some assets which I think personally could be great DCA opportunities. And if you've got any assets you want me to take a look at, then drop them in the comments, because it's such a big world out there in crypto. There's that many assets. There's probably 100,000 different assets now, and it's hard locating the right ones and which ones have got strong fundamentals to invest in. But I'm going to be doing my research now over the course of the next few weeks and months. But if you've got any assets you really want me to take a look at, drop in the comments, drop me a message on Twitter, and I'll definitely look into them. So that's it for today. If you're new to this channel, please hit that like button, make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll catch you next time.